A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Allianz Park, where we've got Tyrrells Premier 15's playoff semi-final action for you today. 18 regular rounds of action has given us the final four, and today it's the champions against the challengers, North London against West London, Saracens women against Wasps ladies. A very good afternoon to you here at Allianz Park. A massive game in the Tyrrells Premier 15's playoff semi-finals today. Alongside me for commentary, the World Cup winner Heather Fisher. Good afternoon, Heather.
Good afternoon, Nathan.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good too. We're both good.
Cold.
Cold. It is very cold. We've had all sorts of weather. We've got the sun just about coming out again now through the clouds. We've had some sleet this afternoon as well, but hopefully kick-off not too long away. It will be nice and dry. Heather, looking at these two teams, Saracens won 17 of 18 games, top of the pile. They'll be huge favourites. Would you put them as that this afternoon?
Do you know, actually, I would. I think it's a massive London clash. I think Wasps have been in a real good position all season to stay in the position they have. Sarah's been on top form. I think it's going to be a real close game.
In terms of looking at the back lines in particular, look at Wasps, the likes of Nolly Waterman, Abby Dow. There's lots of threats as well from Saracens and their sort of half-back pairing of Georgie Gulliver and Zoe Harrison. Is that where you kind of see the game won and lost, as much as forwards obviously usually where it's at?
Yeah, forwards love to get in the way. For me, I think it is going to be a battle of the backs. I think you've got the likes of Nolly Waterman, who's really smart, who can put Abby Dow into space, and she's got great legs on her. Literally some real good running skills. However, you've got Lauren Cattell, you've got the creativity from Sarah McKenna, you've got Sydney, who's in the back line as well. I think it's a massive variation. For me, about Sarah is getting the creativity right and not overplaying. And if Wasps can kind of get it to space, I think they'll be kind of in the picture.
More thoughts from Heather throughout the afternoon. I've caught up a bit earlier with the two coaches ahead of kick-off. Alex, Tyrrells Premier 15's playoff semi-finals. How much are you looking forward to today?
Oh, massively, yeah. It's hugely exciting. The players have worked incredibly hard to be here, and as I said, it's the business end of the season. This is where you want to be involved, and ultimately, this is what it's about. It's being in these big games, performing in these big games, and hopefully getting the result at the end of it. Yeah.
Give us your thoughts on what you're going to expect from Wasps.
Again, full-blooded side, play with a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and that's what we respect about them massively. We expect a breakdown battle. They've got some weapons, particularly out wide with pace, that can cause you problems, but they've got threats across the field. So it's going to be a physical encounter. It's going to be a fiercely fought one, and one where it could be a moment of magic that breaks it, and hopefully it's us that do that, and we contain their players that are capable of it.
I know you've got a few injuries, but with some England Grand Slam winners coming in, the likes of Hannah Bottomman, Poppy Cleal, Zoe Harrison, you've got some big names coming back for you this afternoon. Yeah,
I mean, in rugby you're going to pick up injuries, and all year we pride ourselves on the depth that's been in the squad. So it's brilliant to have some of those players that have been involved with the Six Nations back in, but ultimately as well, it's the rest of the squad that have played a part in getting us here. So yeah, a few names out, but I'm sure that the person wearing the number will put as much into it.
Best of luck this afternoon. Thank you. Giselle, a playoff semi-final. You've got your team into the playoffs. How much are you looking forward to this afternoon?
It's a huge opportunity for us, and we see it as such. And the girls have worked incredibly hard, and we just can't wait. There's a huge excitement in the camp to get out there and get on with it.
Saracens obviously big favourites. They've won 17 out of 18 games. What sort of challenge are you kind of expecting coming up against this team?
As you say, 17 out of 18 games. They're very, very strong ball carriers, very direct side, but have absolute rapid outside. Sarah McKenna sitting at the back, who I have huge respect for and has had an amazing season. But in an 80-minute game of rugby, anything can happen, and that's our intention.
That is it, isn't it? It's knockout rugby. You've got a lot of talent in your side, so you will go into this with confidence.
Absolutely. I mean, my back row's phenomenal. I mean, it's going to cause chaos out there, and I've got my back three really rapid. My centre's really strong, great distributors. My fly half kicking goals for fun. My front row all raring and ready to go. So why wouldn't we be confident? It's as I say, an opportunity. We've played 18 games, okay, albeit we finished fourth, but that's the way the competition is, isn't it? And to have an opportunity to play here against the league leaders is hugely exciting, and that's what the girls train for week in, week out, to have opportunities like this. So bring it on.
Brilliant. Giselle, wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Giselle Mather there, and you also heard from Alex Osterbury, the two head coaches of the two teams today. The sun now shining compared to a little earlier when we had some sleet and rain around here in North London. Let's get a look at the two teams this afternoon, starting with the champions. A number of players rested last week. Nearly half of the starting 15 has been changed by Sarries head coach Alex Osterbury. England Grand Slam winners Hannah Bottomman, Poppy Cleal, Zoe Harrison and Rosie Gallagher all return, along with Scotland's Jodie Retty and Ireland's Hannah Casey, with the ex-Red Rose Georgie Gulliver's return at scrum half, making it 7 changes in total. Lauren Cattell moves from fly half to inside centre, while Sydney Gregson also moves out one from centre to wing. Here we go for Wasps. Experience replaces experience in the front row. Rocky Clark unavailable, so 39-year-old Claire Purdy comes in for her at loosehead. Irish international Cleaner Maloney and Emily Maisie are the other 2 changes in the pack, while Welsh 15s and 7s international Gemma Rowland comes in alongside captain Casey Allen in the centre. Scrum half Claudia McDonald is their top try scorer with 10 this season. Look at the 2 sets of replacements. Saracens' strength is shown with the 17-try wing Georgie Lingham having to settle for a place on the bench, with Emma Swords and Nina Visterson also known for adding impetus when they get on the field. Wasps have 2 young front row replacements in Ironton and Stock, while Kiwi fly half Roberts has impressed in her first campaign with the club. Garnet McKinder is a former title winner with Saracens last year. She scored in that final against Harlequins. We're just waiting for the 2 teams here. The setup is ready for the arrival. Crowd just beginning to make their ways to the seats in what is now sunshine here at Allianz Park. We've gone through all 4 seasons, it seems, so far. Heather Fisher this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nathan. How are you?
I'm very well.
I'm so glad the sun's come out for today. So
it
glad.
It was very, very cold on a bit of the arrival. And we heard some of your thoughts pre-match, Heather. Just the kind of mindset of the 2 teams going into this one, because this is, as much as Premier 15s has developed into a high-quality competition, this knockout rugby is a really different stage for both these sets of players.
Yeah, as Alex earlier said for the Saracens coach, you're at the business end of stuff, and when that's the case, you want to make sure you're here for one thing, and that's to perform and get your results and to get in, get the job done, get off and get to a final. That's what they're here for, and that's what both sides will be gunning for today.
I mentioned just waiting for 2 sides. We will actually be having a minute's silence of Roger Skinner, who was SC Vice President and lifetime member, former first team player in his 60s and 70s, and sadly passed away this week. So Wasps have requested a minute's silence, which we will be, of course, receiving here on England Rugby. This is the first of 2 live stream games on Premier15s.com, England Rugby's Facebook and YouTube as well. Saracens against Wasps this afternoon. And then tomorrow we're at the Twickenham Stoop, where Nick Keith and Natasha Hunt will be giving you all the action as Harlequins ladies face Loughborough Lightning for the chance to face whoever wins this one this afternoon. We have to have a winner here today. And whoever wins this one will be heading to Franklin's Gardens on the 27th of April. The 2 sets of flag bearers just looking down the line. I think we're moments away from the 2 teams arriving here at Allianz Park. A couple of injuries recently for Saracens. Bryony Cleal, Marley Packer and Vicky Fleetwood all ruled out, but there's some, as you mentioned, international class for the home side who have been dominant here throughout the season on their home patch. Some really impressive home form. And they look to take that out as Casey Allen lead Wasps out here at Allianz Park through the flags. Very much the underdogs this afternoon, but they will fancy their chances. And they go straight for the huddle. Wasps now going towards the line out as smiles on faces there, looking in a relaxed mood, Heather, the Wasps team.
Yeah, like you said, they've got nothing to lose, Nathan. They're here to win a game. They're here to perform. They're here to kind of show what they're about and to kind of put their performance out there and go, this is us. They have nothing to lose. And when you've got nothing to lose, you play with no fear, and it's exciting to watch.
Here are the champions. Big smiles from them as well. Lottie Clapp leading them out. Quick huddle before the 2 lineups. And then we'll be into the minute silence.
Can I just say, it looks way sunnier over there than it does over here.
Very much the east stand rather than the west stand.
Should move our box.
Taking the sun this afternoon as we be in the control of referee Sarah Cox in just a second. And everyone acknowledge the minute silence for the Wasps Vice President Roger Skinner, who passed away earlier this week. Impeccably observed. Minute silence there. We'll be on to the action just a second. Both teams just huddling around, gathering around. Final words from captains, final words from the leaders. And we're underway in the first game of the knockout stages of the Tyrrells Premier 15s. International standard refereeing, Sarah Cox taking charge of this one at Allianz Park today. Regular, of course, not only on the 15 circuit across the internationals, but as well as following the 7 circuit as well. Spent some time as well as an assistant referee during the recent autumn internationals as well, making waves in the refereeing world. Wasps it will be to get us going here at Allianz Park. Attacking left to right in their changed strip of gold. Straight down the throat of Saracens. Taken well, and they drive forward. Tyrrells Premier 15s knockout rugby underway for the 2018-2019 season. Gulliver, first touch for her, goes deep, looking for fly half Harrison. Deep kick, which is brilliantly read by Danielle Waterman, coming onto the ball. Unable to make a gap this time. Numbers here if Wasps can work it. Good early attacking pressure. Here is the captain, Allen. Ball under the right shoulder, and she breaks 2 tackles. Good work from the centre in her first drive. Looking to the right. McDonald instead goes to the left. Early penalty for Wasps. Offside from Saracens. And top scorer Lizzie Gordon looks at the ball, has a quick word with the captain, and Wasps will go to touch in a first line out. And I know it's only early stages, Heather, but that overlap there and the quickness that Wasps use that ball, promising signs for them.
Yeah, what I quite like is that you've got the number 9 scanning left and right, so she didn't just pass because that's where she was told to pass. She actually looked for the space, and the space was actually on to go blind, and then the intent to drive forward and actually through the player.
So here we go, first line out of the game. Amy Cockayne, the Grand Slam winner, of course, lining this one up. Full complement for Wasps to aim for. Cockayne to the front, hand in there by Saracens, but Wasps have the ball back. Cockayne's first carry. Not much joy there for her, but good spin out of the contact from Purdy. Rolling back the ears, the 39-year-old. McDonald, fellow prop. Hannah West involved there. Wasps inside the 22. Here's Golden, dummy ball, looking for Abby Dow in off her wing, looking for work, looking for runs. McDonald did well to pick that up there. Off the ankles. Wasps go down the blind side again. Good attacking momentum this inside the 22. West with a carry. Early pressure from the visitors. Down the blind side, McDonald fancies it. What can Danielle Waterman work here? Half a step away. Saracens' defence holding up at the moment. No luck for Wasp. Can they try and work it wide? Allen helps it on. Rowland with the first meaningful carry, the Welsh international. Ball there for Wasp to play. Through comes Galligan trying to disrupt. Goulden looking for options. One of those is back inside. Claire Malloy, the Irish flanker, such a wriggly number in contact. Lots of phases for Wasp here. Is there an end product? Carry by the German international, Baltruvite. Keeping it tight at the moment with the forwards, and little by little this Wasps team are edging towards a try line. High into contact there from Allen, but supporting runs help. Saracens have got some frantic work to do in defence now, because within the shadow of this high sun at Allianz Park, Wasps in striking range. They go again, this time to the right, towards the post. Much better Saracens defence, the two-player tackle. Malloy picks and goes from the base of the ruck. All a bit frantic in the middle of the park at the moment. McDonald looking for her options. Sarah Cox just calls a halt to proceedings. It's a penalty Well, is it a penalty to us? Up goes the hand, and she'll have a word with the assistant referee. But just a word on that attacking header, Fisher. That was a really impressive first 4 minutes from Wasps.
Yeah, they've really come out the blocks, haven't they, Nathan? They look sharp, they look strong, they look up for it. They're great carries, great intent. And what I like is they're not going alone. They're going literally as a few players. They're going to the line now, gunning. They're spiking players really well. And they're coming around the corner very well. McDonald at 9 is really scanning and really moving that ball and changing the tempo of the game. At the moment, Sarah's on here.
Well, there's a decision to be made here from the assistant referee and Sarah Cox calling, I imagine, both captains over.
Don't argue, Coxie, do you?
Here comes Claudia McDonald, Casey Allen, the Wasp captain as well. Actually unable to hear the words, but I think it was a yellow card. We'll try and get a replay of whatever incident caused that for Claudia McDonald, but the Wasp scrum half will spend the next 10 minutes in the bin. So from that attacking momentum, an infringement from her, and she goes off.
Yeah, I kind of can't think what it could be to be a yellow card either, but that's really important now. That does not play into the Wasps' head, because that's so early on within the first 5 minutes of play that we need the rest of the Wasps players now to really start to work hard and really pick it up for the rest of those players.
Saracens have themselves a penalty then on the 5 metre line. Work for Harrison to do to find touch. And work for this Wasp team to do as well to try and compensate for the loss of Claudia McDonald. Real vital part of this attacking unit for Wasps, the top try scorer, as I mentioned before kick-off, and a real impressive part of what this Wasp setup have done this season, challenging the likes of Natasha Hunt and Leanne Riley for that number 9 shirt for England. First line out for Saracens, easily taken by the experienced Sonia Green, and Saracens break through. Zigzag with the open side, good run there. Gulliver, Harrison, working it through the hands, Sarries. Rexon off a wing. Switch from outside centre to wing this week. Harrison looking for the run of Poppy Clear. That is a superb tackle there from Hannah West. Lined up the England forward and just stopped in her tracks. I've got the yellow card incident here to have a look at Claudia McDonald and try and clear up one of the 2 bits of the confusion here. So McDonald just lurking at the back of this ruck. Around. Well, I think it was an incident maybe before that.
I can't see it, Nathan. I can't see it.
I'll try and get the incident for you and sort out that yellow card for the Wasp number 9. First scrum of the game, powerful one from Saracens off the Wasp put in, and they have back possession. Clap to Harrison, takes contact.
That was a real missed opportunity there in that scrum. That was loosely put in and they didn't have a hit on, so it was very loose and poor.
There's a turnover here for Wasp. What can they work down that far side? Space just looked like it would open up for a second. Waterman acting scrum half, where she started the career, the former England fullback. Again, Waterman, so switching from 15 to 9, acting as a distributor. Saracens win back possession. Comical dive there from May Campbell, just making sure that she got out of the way of Gulliver's pass. Harrison's clearance. What can Wasps do here in broken field? Dow breaks 1, breaks 2. Unable to get around the 3rd tackler. Wasps on the halfway line. Waterman looks for Goulden, slightly deeper position. She goes to the chip over the top, and this is an interesting kick. Bounces kindly from a Wasp point of view. McKenna comes through. It's a player, ball, and everything else there from the England fullback, and she did really well, Gemma Rowland, to just hold on to that ball. Wasps still in possession. Purdy helps it on. Good run from Maloney. Goulden up to stoop down again to get it. It's an interesting kick, one that could possibly bounce, and it does bounce very well from a Wasp point of view. They have possession back, unfortunately goes into touch. No advantage on the play though, but Jordan's kicking range at the moment causing Saracens all sorts of problems on the fringes. Go back for a Wasp penalty, so a sort of free shot there from that attempted crossfield kick. And I think that was for the McKenna challenge, which was mistimed, shall we say, Hannah?
Yeah, that's politely put, mistimed. But that's great play by Wasp. They're just playing the space everywhere. And the fact that you got now Nolly Waterman stepped in for 9 as well, that combination of 9 and 10 is going to change slightly. Probably one that Nolly didn't expect to be so soon, getting those legs down early on. But they're really playing the space really well, and they come into life, aren't they? I'm really impressed with them. Saracens just need to hold their own and just keep going forward and keep playing the phases.
So, Nolly just having a conversation with Sarah Cox. Abby down the far side just receiving some treatment, so time for a bit of water to come on. Sunshine here. Looks a beautiful day, and it really is up here at Allianz Park as we take a look at this penalty challenge. McKenna, in fairness to her, she was challenging for the ball. It was just the quick hands of Roland, but the penalty, the correct decision.
Yeah, for me, there shouldn't be really anything wrong with that, Nathan. At the end of the day, she's not going for the play, she's gone up for the ball. So I'd hope the referee can see that the intent is to go for the ball.
One or two messages coming on. The water carriers there, those who follow the travails of England and the Red Roses. One of those water carriers, Harriet Miller-Mills, who's working her way back to fitness, 2 long-term injuries as we look at this incident involving Abby Dow, attacked by opposite number Sydney Gregson. It was a fair tackle. I think just the aftermath of the ruck possibly causing the Wasp wing to need to receive some treatment. Still down. Vital part of, well, his usual back 3 effort involving Tova Dirk and Nolly Waterman acting scrum half, of course. Now Waterman, it's one of the areas that we thought pre-game which Wasps could really target Saracens. It's impressive as that Saracens outfit is, and from a Wasp point of view, Heather, although they're down to 14 players at the moment and they're waiting for this injury, the work they've done in this opening 10 minutes, we're really, really proud of, because they've taken the game to Saracens.
Oh, they really have taken the game to Saracens, and like you said, they've got the likes of Cleo and the Cattell, Sydney Gregson, all in the Saracens back line. But you've got a hell of a lot of experience in that Wasps outfit today, and they are really gunning for it. They'll want this, you know. At the end of the day, they're sitting in 4th, 5th position at the moment in the league, and they'll be gunning for a semi-final for them. You know, they're doing really well. You know, I know some of the players. Obviously, I've played with some of them. The likes of Claire Purdy still playing well and going forward with intent. It's a shame about the 9. It's rugby, it happens. But, you know, a hell of a player to step up, Nolly Waterman to 9 shirt. So if they can get their combination right and they can play the space and play with confidence with the heads up and the belief that they can knock Saracens off, because that's half the battle in your head, is when you enter a team, when you enter to go and play, it's the mental challenge of beating a team that hasn't lost this season. Really, have they?
Wasps, since the inaugural Tyrrells Premier 15 season, last year, Wasps just one of 2 sides to beat Saracens. Harlequins the other, a 5-0 win at Twyford Avenue last year. It was in fact 10 of the match day 22 this afternoon who were part of that win. So there are a number of Wasps players this afternoon who know what it's like to beat Saracens, know how to beat Saracens, but saying that and having it down on paper and then going and doing it, 2 very different things.
Yeah, it's very true. Like, you know, in sevens we talk about different teams, and you can know game plan inside out and what players are going to do and the potential they've got to kind of break the line. But at the end of the day, you've got to be able to stop that player and stop the team in front of you, which is the hardest thing to do. So at the end of the day, it is the team that turns up on the day that can deliver and back their processes and back each other and then believe they're going to do it.
Just an apology for those who possibly picked up on some particularly pleasant language on one of the microphones here on the Tyrrells Premier 15 streams. Garnet McKinder is stripped and ready to go, so I think Abby Dow is minimum HIA. It could be a full replacement, but a player, Garnet McKinder, who switched from Saracens to Wasps at the start of the season. Got a chance after pressing in a 24/7s tournament. Garnet McKinder had a trial with Saracens and then played at the club last year. Also spent some time in the England 7 setup as well.
She's not easy to tackle, Nathan. She's got long legs.
Real speedster, and I'm sure there'll be a number of Saracens players who know her very well from training and playing with her, and Abby Dow just holding her face, so I'm sure she'll get checked up, and we'll hope to come back on. We'll keep you informed of the progress of the England wing. Just waiting for excuse me, just waiting for Dow to make her way off the field before Goulden lines up this kick. A good 7 or 8 minutes there for both teams really to try and not just physically stay warm and keep in the game, but also mentally, from that real psych up at the start of the game of playing knockout rugby. Get your first big hit, get your first basics right in those opening minutes. They'll have to just reset again. As Cockayne comes along for this line out. Waterman lurking off the back, 4 in the line for Wasps. Up it goes towards the back, and it's straight off the top to Waterman. Lovely fist pass to Goulden. Here is Allen, helps it on. Here's the run of West, really busy in attack so far, the Wasp prop. Struggling to get the ball back at the moment, and that's because of the frame of Hannah Bottomham. Big celebrations from her right over the ball as soon as Wasps got it to ground. And really good technique there, just stopping Wasps, getting over it. And for anybody out there, just how to do some jackling.
Yeah, really good play by Wasp, but it's the fact that you've got, your prop going from a line out to centre field like that and jacking over the ball and stealing that ball. It's great defensive play. Great defense. Yeah, great.
So line out for Saracens. Pretty sure this is the first time they've actually been in the Wasp half with the ball. Still with this player advantage, of course. Gordon McDonald. So not too sure what the incident was, but still a couple more minutes in the bin for her. Galligan, the usual target in the line now. Harrison just helps it on. Taken forward by Scotland international Retty. Bit of a mix up there, and Saracens knock it on, trying to work a move off the back line. Big cheers from the Wasps bench. Just having a look at Hannah Bottomham and Danielle Waterman there, exchanging 1 or 2 words. I'm sure all very pleasant, and
It always is at scrums, isn't it? It's always pleasant chat.
I'm sure she's enjoying this, Nolly, because she wouldn't have been around this close to scrum for quite a while.
No, she's a feisty little one. She's a feisty little one. Yeah.
From a teammate, of course, of Georgie Gulliver at England level, doing battle at the side of the scrum, taken by the number 8. Arcing run from Sarah Mitchelson. Nolly had some work to do at the back of that ruck as Saracens came through and disrupted. She did well in the end, just taking the ball and eventually placing it down. Cockayne, loose pass, and Wasps at the moment going backwards from the plays as Bottomham comes through and able to just scrag Casey Allen. Lots of problems at the moment for Wasps at the breakdown, because Saracens just seems to be getting a foot in, just seems to be getting a shoulder in, and it's not clean ball from a Wasp point of view. Kick over the top from Goulden. Waterman leaving the chase. McKenna, bit of a loose pass, bounces up, difficult one, but Gregson did really well. Inside and out the wing it goes. Now she's spotted a gap. Ball under the left arm. Numbers outside of her, if she can use it. Attacking down the flank goes Cattell, just about managing to stay in. Harrison, quick fizzed ball to the hooker Campbell. For the grubber kick through is Harrison, blocked by Wasps. Now Nolly over the ball looking for the turnover. Cleo, Poppy Cleo, Sister Briney hobbling around pre-match in leg brace down towards her ankle. really seen at all what Saracens can do with ball in hand just yet. What can Harrison do? Ball under the left arm, half break, and she offloads. And Retty bursts through. This is going to be the first try of the game. Retty for the try line, slides over under the posts. Out of nothing, Saracens have the open score. Harrison with the break initially. Retty with the follow-up line. Wasps could not catch her, and the Scottish flanker slides in.
Yeah, it's a great finish there by Retty. Absolutely brilliant, superb line. Great chase back by the Wasps. Wow, the Wasps wing nearly got us. Really, real close. But just great play to keep the ball going. They've had real good patience to be on the try line for most of the 20 minutes approaching. So then to come out on top then with a few turnovers, great patience shown by Sarahs.
Zoe Harrison, still very much kind of understudy at the moment to Katie Daly-McLean, former England under-20s fly half, but a 10 who plays to the line. She brings in players, and she's also good for a line break. 10 so far coming into this game. And now she has the task of adding a couple more points from a Saracens point of view. Low drill kick, easy enough in front of the sticks for Zoe Harrison, so it is a 7-point lead for Sarries as Claudia McDonald comes back on. And this, the Harrison break and the offload, and what every good flanker should do, Heather, support line.
Yeah, for me, Zoe Harrison didn't have to give that ball, so the fact that she trusted it was kind of one of those 50-50s that some coaches would say keep hold of and some would take the gamble. But to win big games in your semi-finals, you've got to give that pass, and she did tremendously well just to be able to give the ball.
Back up to 15 Wasps then, as I just mentioned. McDonald on the pitch. Gulliver looking for Harrison with the assist, now with the big boot. Under it is Danielle Waterman. Across the pitch she goes, just trying to find a gap in that wall of Saracens players. McDonald to Goulden, tries to fizz it. It's picked up by Allen. Oh, it's a very high tackle. And Lottie Clapp just getting all her angles completely wrong there. You can see what she's trying to do, line up the player and ball, but that was not a pretty sight.
I'm surprised that's not a yellow. For what we saw from McDonald at 9, I am surprised that isn't a yellow card.
Sarah Cox straight over to the mark, but this from Lottie Clapp, as it's helped on here. It was Allen taking it in and just got her angles all wrong.
Yeah. There's a lot of attention these days on the tackle and being, absolute, chest height. So for me, that's not good to see.
Possibly a little lucky there then, the Saracens skipper. Off the top by Watts. McDonald back into the thick of things. Goulden with the dummy. And looking for the short ball, read by Saracens. The initial dummy. And then the second one, just a yellow hand coming in and knocking the ball on. Sarries have themselves a scrum.
I still feel like both sides are trying to find their feet, Nathan. They seem a bit nervous. The basics aren't quite there yet at the level we probably expect at the moment from both sides. Mistakes happening. But both teams really gunning for it. And you can see that physical aggression, can't you, in the carries and in the defensive line.
Paul Smiles on the Sarries bench at the moment. That Jodie Retty try. The difference between the two sides at the moment. Claire Purdy against Hannah Bottom, 19 years old Hannah Bottom. Purdy, double her age at 39, an intriguing tie in that front row. Set piece move from Sarries as Harrison helps the ball on, suspicion of a forward pass, but Sarries break down the wing. McKenna gives it on to Clapp. Diving in goes the Sarries captain for the second score. Well, moments ago, a high tackle and a possible yellow card, but Sarries at their clinical best there down the left wing. Lottie Clapp goes in. She has her 12th try of the season. Sarries at their clinical best.
Yeah, give that to Sarahs. That was a great run. Great eyes and vision by McKenna. Keeping Nolly Waterman out the game, really blocking that, little things like blocking her out the game means that defender can't push onto her. And then obviously, Clapp's got great speed to finish it. Great runner. Can always rely on her finishing the try.
McKenna there, just showing how to hold onto the ball, draw the player in. Just to give it too early or too late, just made sure that she was the one in control of the situation. Harrison with a shorter runner. Stab just trying to clip it around the posts, and you could see her behind it, just hoping for a slight gust of wind as we have a look at her there with the momentum on that pass, Heather Fisher.
Yeah, really good. You know, Sarah McKenna didn't have to break a stride to catch it, so Zoe Harrison putting her onto the ball. McKenna timing her run so well that she didn't even have to break a stride. And one look to the left and the right, she used her eyes very well, McKenna did, just to know that last clap was outside of her, just to be able to know how to give that ball.
Gordon's kick, a difficult one for Saris to deal with. Poppy Cleo with a carry there. 9 tries for her so far this season, 4 behind sister Bryony. Gregson again in off her wing, and she's been really busy, really hungry for the ball. Player who plays in the centres, plays in the back 3, also training with England Sevens this season after a stint out in Australia during the off-season. McKenna, the pass was for Casey, I think, but quite on the same wavelength as burst through here by Emily Macy. Golden just thought for a second the ball might open up as we go back for the Saracens knock-on.
When you get to the business end of things, Nathan, you know, these opportunities, you have to be able to capitalise on them. For me, you know, Wasps had a couple of opportunities first in the first 5 minutes, and now just again gone now. But you have to be able to maintain possession, because these points are key now. They're now 2 tries up, but they have been playing well. It's not about Wasps playing badly, but they need to be able to capitalise on that opportunity of having that possession of the ball.
In the Development League, it's the second tier competition for all 10 Tyrrells Premier 15 sides. Saracens have won that for the season. They won it by just a point from Wasps, so a bit of silverware, you could say, in the trophy cabinet at the moment for Saracens. There's some brilliant hands off there from Gemma Rowland. Aggressive play in contact. Centre of the pitch, what can they work here? McDonald just had to delay the pass for a second. Sticks to using her forwards. It's to the right this time. West, so much carrying in those opening stages, getting her hands on the ball again. McDonald again looking for runners. This time it is Mitchelson. Now they use the backs. Goulden to Allen. 2 players coming in. Claire Malloy placing the ball. McDonald, good quick service, looking for Purdy. Comes up against Bottoman. Good challenge from the Saracens prop, and Bottoman again, double tackle from the Red Rose. Around the fringes, Wasps go. Advantage on the play here for Wasps, who will go back. And the assistant referee and Sarah Cox just in conversation there, offside on the play. Particularly work around the fringes, Heather Fisher, been quite impressive from Wasps. They're looking to try and kind of take this, what is a big Saracens pack on, and by taking them on, they're trying to use their pace and get the ball and the play quick around those fringes. Yeah,
Saracens are known for their physicality. You know, they get around the park really well with their big players and their big ball carriers. However, you know, they need to up the tempo. You know, Wasps are trying to change the tempo at the breakdown, but I think they need to kind of keep it high so they can kind of beat them for speed and beat them for pace outside. But to be able to do that, we need a quicker breakdown. But they're kind of, you know, they're working the left and right really well. They're scanning well. It's about being organised off the ball quicker than the opposition.
To the front of the line, Wasps go, taken well by Macy. And now rolling round, good momentum from Wasps, just a metre away, the ball now down. McDonald over it. Again, Saracens just trying to disrupt any play of the ball at the moment. Let's try and keep it tight with the forwards. Purdy with the drive. Donald again organising the troops. Round to the left they go again. Everyone within a tight space at the moment as Allen drives it forward. Again, Wasps to the fringes, backing their forwards, backing their power. At the moment, Saracens standing firm. Another penalty advantage here for Wasps. Malloy straight back to the mark, and as Sarah Cox just stops play, you think as these penalties rack up, we're going to be in, and as that word says from Sarah Cox, you think we're going to be in yellow card territory.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. They've kind of been offside a couple of times now, and there's only so many times they can get away with it. I reckon the next one could be having a yellow card.
So decision for Wasps to make here. Scrum to possibly hook in some of the Saracens forwards, but instead
Good decision.
They go for touch.
Yeah.
Successful last time. I think actually Golden just lost half a metre. Got a bit of a slice on that kick, but still very promising position. With Cockayne and her hands on the ball. All the forwards coming in, Malloy at the front. It is in fact towards the middle, just spill, ricochets around, gathered up in eventually by Cockayne. Trying to rip the ball away from Campbell. And Sarah Cox again in conversation. She's had a lot of work to do today to speak to these players.
She's not happy, is she? I think she just likes talking.
Trying to get a stamp on the game, and I think there's, from what you can see, just maybe a bit of niggle between the two sides, that bit of edge, and just trying to keep on top of it.
Yeah, it's what you would expect in a semi-final, isn't it, Nathan? It's difficult because I think the forwards are doing really well on both sides. Cox is, like you said, he's trying to control the game and just make sure they know that she is present. Once you've got that, then you'll get a cleaner game and you'll probably get, the higher skill level because of it. But opportunities are around everywhere, aren't they? Opportunities have been left, right, and centre for Wasps. They just need to now see them quicker and take them.
Still chance here for Wasps to put some pressure on Sarries, who have the put into the scrum. 5 metres from their own try line. Harrison just lining up some runners outside of it. All the way back to Poppy Cleal. Pick and go from the number 8, Malloy. Low. Half bounced off initially Cleal, but the second tackler coming in. Gulliver wants some blockers. Around they go instead, Saracens. Everything at the moment controlled by the champions. Playing the game at their pace. Tries from Retty and Clapp, giving them this 12 points to 0 lead as Harrison's boot goes towards Waterman. Good take from the fullback. McKinder outside of her. Waterman just trying to find half a yard, and she just hands off with a really powerful arm then. The captain Clapp. Stolen, however, by Saracens, and too many times this afternoon, just when Wasps have been in attacking positions, Saracens seem to come up with something. Casey driving forward. And then negative, followed by negative from Wasps. Lose the ball, then concede the penalty. And from 5 metres from their own try line, this kick from Harrison will probably get them to within the Wasps half.
Yeah, it's so easy to sit up here, isn't it, and criticise what we see on the pitch. When you're in the pitch and you're in the moment, you only see kind of what's really in front of you, which is kind of a statement to make. But, just having that ability to kind of be smart around the ball, be smart off the ball, be the quicker person there, and just secure that possession. A great run by Nolly, great fend, but then almost isolating because there's no support around us. So you've got to expect the unexpected, especially someone not like Nolly Waterman.
2 meetings this season, Saracens 21-5 winners in round 3, and then 45-17 winners in round 13, so 2 comfortable enough wins. We made to work for this one so far as Wasps steal the ball from their line out there. Ball just been made to go to the back, kick over the top. On to chase with interest, Gregson. Solid enough underneath it. Another really competitive breakdown there, but Wasps not coming through legally, not coming through the gates as Sarah Cox, so another Saracens penalty, and this penalty count against Wasps beginning to total up now.
Yeah, a little bit frustrating, Nathan. You know, at the end of the day, I think Wasps need to maintain possession, and yeah, they haven't had much ball in the last 10 minutes. They need to be able to maintain possession, which means I don't understand why we're kicking it away, especially into the court. If we're going to kick the ball away and trust our defensive line to get up, then we have to get off the line and go and get the ball back.
Good kick towards just outside the 22. Campbell, the hooker who spent some time playing for the England under-20s, all the way over the top and taken by McDonald. Penalty going to Wasps there as well, so good 30 seconds of play there from the visitors. They can nudge their way upfield. Kane jogging over to the mark, always full of energy, the England hooker, combining her full-time commitments with the Red Roses, with the career in the RAF. Kane off the top, so looking to use this ball quickly. Older taking it forward, the Wasps captain. Standing still there, taking the ball, Goulden, but Wasps working it through the hands to the far side. Eventually being pushed out, and a couple of shakes of the head from the forwards there as Swedish Sevens international Dirk was dragged out. Just a bit of frustration, I think, coming throughout this Wasps side, because apart from the 2 tries, been very much in the game. Majority, have to say, probably played in the Saracens half, but nothing on the scoreboard so far. Driven out by Clear. Gulliver standing over this one. Going to go back for a knock on there for Wasps, and well, at the moment, Heather, you've got to say, I mean, maybe the pace of the game, the impetus of the game, and all that kind of early momentum which Wasps had has really gone out, and Saracens are just playing at their own level, their own kind of controlled manner, and that's all they have to do. They have this 12-point lead, so that is their right.
Yeah, right, you could call it earned it. The games do swing left and right, I suppose, and they do swing in momentum of, you know, who's in possession and kind of who creates that momentum and maintains it. Wasps haven't been able to maintain it. It was really good to see those, that they are problem solving. You see them all talking, you see them all you can see the frustration on them. It's about doing their role, everyone sticking to their role, sticking to the process. You know, I know Giselle will be frustrated with them at the moment, but you can see they've got the potential in the back line. You can see they've got the powerful forwards and dynamicness within them. It's just about capitalising on these errors and, you know, preventing them almost.
Back in possession then. Giselle made this side. Malloy, good hands that. Here was West. Big strong carry again from the 22-year-old tight head prop. Kane. A lovely ball out the back for McKinder. Casey holding her up. Lovely spin out the tackle there from Purdy. Just looked as if she was going to offload it and pass the ball, and then swiveled quite balletically out of the challenges coming her way. Goulden just sitting a bit deeper Thought about the pass to Older, gives it to Waterman, running back towards traffic. It's been offloading this from Wasps at the moment. Saracens standing firm. Donald. Out towards Cockayne, and a bit of space here for Amy Cockayne to burst through. Up to the 22. Now she needs some support. Places the ball down. McKenna just right through the back of that. Wasps did well to hold on to it. It's all just a bit frantic at the moment. A not quite clean ball for Wasps. Always, whenever they make a break, there's some form of Saracens' hand, Saracens' boot, Saracens' shoulder coming in and just doing enough to stop them.
Yeah, it's making me nervous. They just need a little bit of control. They're playing well. They're maintaining that momentum. They're kind of trying the offload game. They're going forward. They're playing smarter, but keep me on the edge of my toes, that's for sure.
Roldan now. Lots of phases now for Wasps. What can they work against a tiring Saracens defence? Well, not tiring there. Really big hit on Claire Malloy. Penalty, though, coming Wasps' way. Again for offside. A number of offsides from Saracens. Donald now, I think, just catching a breath. Might be a bit winded, the Wasp scrum half. We'll try and have a look at the that big tackle just a second ago. Saracens player receiving some treatment again, but let's have a look at some Saracens defensive work as well. It was a big tackle there, Hannah Casey on Malloy. But Donald then coming through to try and do some rucking. I think just possibly getting caught with something. Already had one facial injury. Abby Dow is wrapped up and won't be coming back on. So full-time replacement that with Garnet McKinder as Katie Older just comes and checks on her scrum half. Of course, it's been another impressive season for Saracens. For those who haven't seen the stats, 17 wins from 18, just a defeat at Harlequins earlier on this season, the only team to stop them in their tracks. Head coach Alex Osterbury taking over from Rob Kane at the start of the season, a man who's had ties with Saracens previously, spent some time at the RFU as well, developing players. So many of these young players, and even one or two more experienced heads have come through the coaching of Alex Osterbury, and he's just really picked up where Rob Kane left off and carried the momentum through. As Wasps now, they go for the post, kicking tee is on, and Lizzie Goulden, second highest point scorer in the league, 125 points so far, looking to try and add another 3.
Yeah, I think it's quite a good decision for Wasps to go for the kick. They're in the 22, they're in the red zone. Why not come away with a few points? This is a game, I think this could be a game of two halves. We've seen Sarahs switch off before in the second half. We've seen Wasps flip it, where they've been behind and come back and nearly won a game, or draw, I should say. So these 3 points could be added value towards the end of the game.
Goulden just drawing the line in her wrapped up boots. Right footed strike from the Wasp number 10 is successful. So the visitors on the board, and some reward for all their efforts so far in this first half. Saracens women 12, Wasp ladies 3. It's going to work here for Saracens do then to try and just stop this Wasp momentum. Deep kick from Harrison. It's going to bounce inside the Wasp 22. Toverdurk trying to carry it out, but the frame of Hannah Bottoman just wrapping up the Wasps 11. Good carry there from Mitchelson, bouncing off the first tackler. McDonald thought about the kick, but then spies that there's some numbers down this blind side. Here's Waterman, lovely step away. Still going. It's not Waterman, sorry, it's Malloy. The blonde hair confused me there, but she stepped like an outside back, the Wasp flanker. McDonald Helped on by Wasps to Tova Dirk. She rides a couple of tackles this time. That's the Saracens' 10-metre line. Mitchelson again, 2 tacklers to bring her down. Goulden leaves it for West. Waterman helps it on. There is space out here for Alder to run into. West, hands up, ready for the ball and takes it before helping it on to Maisie.
Not at the moment.
Goulden to Roland. Good first handoff, then out to Tova Dirk up against Retty. Trying to step away the Swedish wing. Purdy to West, 2 front rowers combining with hands in the centre of the park. Lovely to see. Difficult one for Cockayne to deal with there from McDonald. Just helps it on to Waterman, who did well to spin out of the initial challenge and then earn a couple of metres back. Purdy picks it up from the back of the ruck and spins away. Been a feature of her play this afternoon, some of that twisting and swivelling. Alder into contact. See Wasp been very much trying to just keep this ball alive. Everything they do at the breakdown is quick, offloading all the time, trying to get their hands free. Cockayne just trying to keep the pace on the ball as Macy drives forward. Now there are numbers here. Waterman inside and out, then the looping ball over the top, looking for McKinley. Haven't really seen too much of her with ball in hand so far. McDonald saw the on-rushing line and decides to take it in. Goulden for the German international. Baltravite taking it forward, now Purdy again. Sprightly first half from her, despite the advancing years, and then all that momentum goes in just one handling error for Wasps. And Saracens have a scrum. You can see a couple of hands on knees, some big gas, because that was a really, really big attacking effort from Wasps. And another section where Wasps have gone through the phases and nothing to come for it. And as much as we're kind of crediting Wasps, Heather, for the way they're throwing the ball around, the way they're trying to keep it alive as well, you've also got to credit this Saracens defence, because whatever they are doing, however they're stopping it, they are stopping Wasps.
Yeah, totally. At the moment we're playing Sarah's hands, but they've got, Sarah's are defensively very strong. They're strong over the ball. Their first hits, their first up tackles are really good. They're off the line very good. They're coming up together. They're pretty strong. They're a pretty strong defensive outfit. Yeah, I'm frustrated watching.
I'm sure Giselle May will be just as frustrated as well, the director of rugby for Wasps ladies. Penalty coming Wasps' way though. Can they end this first half with a flourish? Goulden. Well, I think the water carrier there has made the decision for her. It was raced on.
You will take these points
right now. You will be taking these points. I think Giselle Mather, or one of the coaching staff, insisting that the strike for goal is the option, not giving captain Katie Alder the chance to make a decision. So Goulden lining this one up to bring Wasps within 6 points of Sarries. Joined at the start of the season, Lizzie Goulden grew up in New Zealand. Integral part of what this Wasps backline can produce. Now though from the tee. Second strike, good enough distance on it. Has she crept inside the post? Up go the yellow flags. Yes, they have. 2 from 2 for Goulden. And that is the final action of the first half, which, on balance and on play, and probably on territory, you'd have to say Wasps on top, but 2 clinical tries from Jodie Retty and Charlotte Clapp have given Saracens a 12-6 lead at the half. Your thoughts on that first 40 minutes, Heather Fisher?
Yeah, it's a frustrating 40 minutes to watch, to be fair, Nathan. Both teams come out all guns blazing. Both teams look like they're rivaling each other at the moment. Both teams a little bit unsettled. For me, possession has been mostly about Wasps, but haven't been clinical in finishing their opportunities. Saracens probably had less opportunity. However, when they needed to, they've put the gunners on and they've gone for it, and they've produced the results.
The last two scores, though, there's a lot of talk in rugby about, getting a positive after a positive and backing good things up. And those two penalties have kept Wasps in touch and very much in this game. And there will be a lot for Giselle Mather to talk about in that changing room at half-time.
Yeah, I think for me, moving forward, for Wasps especially, they have to challenge the defensive line of Saracens. At the moment, they're playing to their hands, and we need to change those lines. We need to manipulate the defenders in front of us. We're just running into their hands. We're not really doing much. And when we are running, when they're, so I say we, I'm not Wasps. When they are running, when they're going forward, when they've got momentum. You
are Giselle Mather. We as a club, you are in the changing room giving the half-time speech.
For me, when they've got momentum, they're looking sharp and they're looking threatening. However, that tempo needs to sped up, and they need to go forward and testing that defensive line out.
And if we then pretend we're in the Saracens dressing room and you are Alex Osterbury, Heather, what will he want? Because I don't think we've really even seen his side get going at times. It's been so stop-start from a Sarries point of view. Yeah,
Saracens have had a really, for me, a really up and down season. They've kind of been absolutely clinical when they've come out with it, and there are times when they've looked really like almost like they're not really here. So it's kind of gone both ways. It's kind of the balance has shifted. So for me, it's about how clinical can we now be, not for now, but to get a win and drab belts to make sure we win that final when they get to that final.
Thoughts of Heather Fisher. Let's have a look at that first 40 minutes of action here then at Allianz Park. And of course, it was Saracens who got going with this break from Zoe Harrison, looking outside, a ball under the left arm, and then just popping it up towards Retty. And you can see both flankers, the 6 and the 7, with her there.
Yeah, it's what you want from your back row players. You want your back row players running off your 10, but a great offload. She didn't have to give that offload. That's a 50-50 almost. There's traffic in the way. You can't really see your kind of attack coming onto it, but a great risk and risk versus reward, and it came off.
On the wing, you've got to credit her for the effort. Tova Dirk trying to come back at Retty here, you can see her eyes light up as she bursts through here, heading towards the try line, and Dirk will just come into shot now.
Great chase back.
The speedster just unable to dive.
And that defensive chase back as well says a lot. It says a lot. It says we're not going to give up.
And then Harrison again, they provided to McKenna, and just completely in control here, the Sarries fullback.
Yeah, she kind of gone either way. You can see MC thinking she's got a great defender in front of her. She's got Nolly. Nolly will stay on her. Nolly will not let her loose. She'll win that touchline. So to know she's got Clapp outside with the wheels to finish it off, it's just a good scanning, to be honest, good back awareness.
I think the covering Wasps defence trying to help Nolly out there, but the pace from McKenna and then Clapp just too much, giving Saracens that 12-point lead. And these strikes from Lizzie Goulden. Some time in the academy earlier this season. 2 penalties for her. So that is how it stands at the half-time break. Finally poised here at Allianz Park. It is Saracens women 12, Wasps ladies 6. So lots of things for you from England Rugby in the build-up to this game. We often like to give one of the Tyrrells Premier 15 clubs the reins of the Premier 15's Instagram, which you can follow today. Get some of the behind-the-scenes action as well as some of the best tries today if you go on Instagram and search for Premier 15's. But the reins were handed over earlier in the week to Wasps ladies.
Look at the sort of Sarries-Quins rivalry. You both won this season. What is it like?
I wouldn't say I'd switch my phone off and stop talking to them, but obviously there was a lot of rivalry and a lot of stuff on social media going on.
I think it's really important to have such a competitive league, and I think Tyrrells have really done that over the last 2 years, and it's definitely growing the game and more people are getting involved. It's really important for everyone's individual development to have competitive games and for every club to be competitive. That's going to keep on improving for next year and the coming years.
It was huge last year. Obviously, when we get those fans in, it adds a bit of pressure, but it makes people strive to be better. And I think it just creates such an atmosphere and it just brings everyone on, and it just makes it such a good event.
Tyrrells Premier 15's final ticket event a couple of weeks ago at Franklin's Gardens. Some of the Red Roses in action there. Some of the Red Roses which you can see on show, of course, this afternoon. Zoe Harrison taking place as the Saracens' number 10. Also saw as well in there Amy Cockayne, the Wasps hooker, at that event at Franklin's Gardens ahead of the final on the 27th of April. Tickets available on the England Rugby website, englandrugby.com/tickets. You can also go through Northampton Saints. It should be a fantastic event in Northamptonshire. Just over a couple of thousand people there for last season at Ealing Trailfinders. And hopefully an even bigger bit of crowd at Franklin's Gardens, as some of the halftime entertainment, as you can probably hear, is I think is attempting to be a crossbar challenge, but at first they're doing the spin around an umbrella, get yourself nice and dizzy, and then they're going for the shot at goal. It's been that bright sunshine, the far side of the East Stand. Unfortunately, Heather Fisher, we're in the concrete cold over here in the shade, where we're not really getting much of it.
I am so cold.
For those of you around the country in England, I'm sure you're also experiencing these temperatures. It looks glorious. Look at those pictures at Allianz Park as we get a shot of some of the halftime action here. They are attempting. I think everyone has fallen over so far.
Do you know what though? It's so good to see the youngsters involved. You know, at such a young age, this is where it starts at their age. Just be on the pitch, you know, having a bit of fun at half time, and hopefully one day they'll have aspirations to kind of be a club player or be an England player or a Red Rose. You know.
And it's good to see the numbers constantly growing throughout the Tyrrells Premier 15s. Myself and Heather were at the Game Changer a few weeks ago at Harlequins, where that record domestic crowd was achieved by Quins. Also looking for a big attendance tomorrow, of course. That game against Loughborough Lightning, which you can watch across Premier15s.com, as well as the England Rugby YouTube and Facebook. So we're still waiting for the two teams to come out here. Let's get a more inside view of the Saracens and England prop, Hannah Bottoman, who sat down during the Six Nations and spoke about her journey into rugby.
And England stride forward. Driving that ball forward again, it's the driving more, and it's Hannah Bottoman. Her first try for her country, and she's only 18 years of age.
I was down the rugby club so much. I was down there on a Saturday watching my dad, on a Sunday watching my mum, and then obviously playing as well. So I started at Datchworth, which was like just my small home club, and I never really got into any other sports. Like, I'd do everything at school, but rugby was just sort of like just my outlet. Like, I'd met some amazing friends. It was a nice way for me to get my aggression out. I wasn't an angry kid, I'm not, but it's just, I've never really had a connection with the sport like I had with rugby, sort of thing. I enjoy winning so much, and the fact with rugby is that you can do it with 23 other people. You've got that whole experience and everyone's involved in it.
Here's Bottoman, Hannah Bottoman. Bottoman's over. Try awarded.
I went away to Hartbury for a year. It's an incredible setup to be in, but it didn't work for me where I was in my life at that point. I came home and I did nothing for a year. I just went to college and just did what I wanted, like a normal teenager sort of thing, which was what I was like adamant that I wanted to be. And then obviously got the opportunity to play for Sarries last year, and just never looked back. Like, I actually started enjoying it again and sort of fell back in love with it. That then was sort of like, actually, like, if I need to stick my head down here and sort of get better and get fitter and just try and get as far as I can.
And from that comeback, not too long after that, you were then part of an England squad and making England debut. So what was that feeling like? Going from almost quitting rugby, getting back into it, enjoying it, then you're playing on the international stage?
I still haven't really grasped the concept of what actually happened. As in, like, I literally just got back into rugby, and within sort of like 4 or 5 months, it was like I was getting my first cap for it. Like, it was absolutely insane, like amazing, like incredible. There are genuinely no words for it. Like, you can't really describe it. It's just like the ultimate sort of just pride, I guess. I don't think you understand it until you've done it, which is like, I genuinely, I really struggle to describe sort of like the feeling. It's just like pure like happiness, like there's no feeling like it.
But that is such a special moment for any player. You have to celebrate, you have to milk it for everything it's worth, because you don't score your first try more than once. What a moment for her. Hannah Bottom's the one that gets the ball over the line. Still waiting for the two teams here at Allianz Park. Final bit of words from Giselle Mather, Alex Osterbury. Also, I'm sure the two captains getting involved as well, in Katie Alder and Lottie Clapp saying their piece and final words. Reminder as well, of course, mentioning it throughout that first 40 minutes, tickets available for Franklin's Garden if you want to go to final. If you're a fan of either of these two clubs, say Quins or Loughborough fan, a fan of women's rugby in general, or just a fan in sport, a day at Franklin's Garden, still early bird ticket available, offers englandrugby.com/tickets. That's all the place where you can get your tickets for the HSBC London Sevens, that on Saturday and Sunday, the 25th and 26th of May, bank holiday weekend. You can also get your tickets there for the Quilter Cup action. See some of the players on show this afternoon who'll be representing the Red Roses, their historic game against the Barbarians. That's before an England 15s match against the same side. They play the men's Barbarians, that one on Sunday the 2nd of June. All those tickets available at englandrugby.com/tickets. One or two of the coaching staff and water carriers beginning to make their way down to the touchline now, so we're not far away. Okay, see the frame of Giselle Mather coming out as well. And here is Katie Alder. Well, these players, of course, we speak about the changes in women's rugby and those full-time contracts to the Red Roses, a huge step forward at the start of the season. But many of these players combining jobs, all these players are pretty much combining jobs or studies with this playing professionally with a small p. But it means just as much out there on the field. And for one team, this will be the last 40 minutes of their season. The other heading to Franklin's Gardens in a couple of weeks. Final huddles before this second 40. Alder leading the Wasps one, Clapp leading the Sarries one. Will be underway in this second half, which, although stop-start in that first 40 minutes, it was an intriguing watch, Heather, just the sort of different styles and approaches to the game from these two sides.
Yeah, it was very intriguing, actually, Nathan. Yeah, both very different teams, but actually both playing similar almost. Both got very strong packs and both trying to create something and create momentum and get on the front foot. It's going to be a very exciting second half, I reckon. And this is almost a reset button to go, right, second half, let's go.
Blowing the whistle from Sarah Cox. Zoe Harrison in those lime green boots gets us going. And it bounces just before. I think Purdy was hoping that she'd read that perfectly. It was going to go all the way out, but Harrison getting her angles right Still though, the Wasps throw to the line. So first bit of action. Set piece, and Wasps with 5 in it. Initial jump from Macy, then challenged in the air by Cleel. Wasps just about come away with it. Golden flat pass, and it was a real fizzed flat pass there. As well to hold on to the ball. Maloney. McDonald just taking her time, working to the back of this ruck and to the back foot. Getting some distance on the kick, but straight down the throat of McKenna. Here is Harrison. Saracens back, just regrouping out there. Cattell looking for the looping ball over the top to Clack, trying to take on McKinder. Harrison deeper this time for the onrushing Galligan. The first couple of weeks of the Six Nations part of the England setup made a debut for the Red Roses in that opener against Ireland. Harrison deeper again this time for McKenna, looking for the onrushing runners. One of those, Casey, the Irish centre, breaking through, doing really well. Quicker this time for Gulliver. Harrison looking to use it wide. Bottoman, Cattell. Scrambling at the moment from Wasps. Amber shirts working their way to the far side. And then the penalty coming Saracens' way. Just for that past few phases from Saracens, Wasps just seeming really stretched. They haven't looked like that too much in this game so far, but the defence there putting under pressure. Harrison straight to touch, and the Saracens pack, which has scored with Jodie Retty's try. 55 tries this season have come from that front 8 of Sarries. 6 metres out, attacking line out. Superb platform for them to make that 56 tries. The ball is set and it immediately goes towards Wasps. And just stay in control. Campbell on it at the moment. Looking to go to the right. The Saracens pack now through the back line. Harrison helps it on. Cattell brought down.
No, drop.
Referee Sarah Cox just making sure everyone on side. Older then just around the fringes, the centre. Bottoman now with some pace onto the ball, still going. The prop.
Okay, leave Wasps.
Saracens go again, looking for a third try, which they have. The power too much for Wasps this time. It was slow, it was methodical, and it was controlled. And it is Poppy Cleel who comes away with a third try for Sarries.
Yeah, totally agree. Real clinical, real smart. And, you know, as you're watching this pack move forward, you forget that actually they are missing such key players, that to have the depth and strength that they have got in that pack and to still maintain control and clinicalness in the 22, especially when it matters on the day in a semi-final, they're doing very well.
Yeah, please.
Poppy Cleel back in this side, rested along with a couple of players against Forward Waterloo. Ladies in round 18.
Thank you.
Such a difference to not only Saracens but England as well, with a ball carrying and a work around the park. And is that the clinical score which stops any Wasps momentum from that second half? Harrison looking for a second strike of the afternoon.
It's a great strike.
Simple enough. It's such a low, simple technique, but it's very reliable from Zoe Harrison. 19-6, the hosts in the Champions League, and Bottoman for a second look, she might get through. And the ball worked round here to Poppy Cleel. I know it's a couple of metres out, but it's about getting low and the technique and everything she did to finish that off.
Yeah, it's a skill in its own, isn't it? To stay low when you've got the defensive line straight in front of you. She's got great strength and she's very dynamic, and it serves her well. Goulden
with the deep kick to that try scorer Cleel. Dirk did really well to just wrap around her ankles then. one not going to make it to touch. Waterman juggled with it for half a second. Hands off. Gregson looks to try and go round Sigzawa, and then the ball just lost. And you see Waterman there just trying things, but that is in fairness to her now, Heather. That is what Wasps are going to have to do, because they're a couple of scores behind. They're going to have to try things, do the unexpected, do the unordinary, just to try and get through Saracens and do something a bit different.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad you said that, to be fair, because they're going to look for players like Nolly to do something, but that almost puts more pressure on her, and those error counts will probably go up. But one thing I will say, for Wasps, I don't understand why we're kicking it away. Because if they're kicking away, they're giving possession to Saracens. They don't need any more. They don't need any possession if they kind of want to score. But yeah, they're going to have to look to do something to mix it up to kind of take a risk, aren't they?
Harrison, the distributor. Casey, the inside, and out. McKenna to Clapp. Looks to put on the afterburners, switches the ball from right to left. McKinder comes across, and Waterman and Alder in there as well. Gulliver. Really good line speed, as you heard from Heather then, just sprinting up that Wasp defence. Gulliver to the blind side. McKenna, stab kick through. That one's going to bounce around in the try area and just go dead. Just a bit too much momentum on that from McKenna. And we'll go back from where
You're back? Yeah.
kick was struck from.
Scrum back, yeah.
Kinder just gathering the ball. It's still quite strange seeing some of those teammates who she won the Premier 15's final with last year. Now her opposition. And Waterman and McKinder actually lined up to the right of this scrum. In that 15 channel to the touchline, the other four backs to the left as Saracens drive disrupts it. Sarah Huddy-Mitchelson does well.
Okay, use the ball.
The referee's call of use it there, and then it is blocked by Poppy Cleal, the third try scorer from McDonald's kick. Campbell now takes it forward. Saracens inside the Wasp 22. Harrison with the first initial dummy, then to McKenna finding space in that midfield. Gulliver to the left as Galligan mentioned the line speed a couple of minutes ago. Excellent from Wasp there, straight up. Be clear with her hands on the ball again and breaking the line again.
No, leave it, 9 goals, leave it.
Slower this time for the Sarries scrum half.
Okay, tackle. Don't kick it.
McKenna again, just bursting through the line, really coming onto the ball at pace and then just stealing a metre on the floor as well, but she has lost the ball by knocking the ball on. And what have Wasps got here? Space in behind that Goulden spots and she kicks it. One for Dirk to chase, and Gregson coming back there. 3 chasers from Wasps in. Waterman there, Roland was up there as well, trying to come through over the top, but Sarries have done well, and Campbell just picks and goes around the fringes. Good work from the hooker. Deep to Harrison, who wants to try and relieve some pressure from a Saracens point of view, and then McDonald, well, she was looking at the line, just trying to make sure that she stayed in, and if the ball was going out, and unfortunately for her,
Did that go forward into touch?
lost the ball at the last second.
Okay, that's right.
And that will be a Saracens throw into the line. So we have another look from the Poppy Cleal block, just menacing the loose air, and just read what McDonald did, or was going to do.
Yeah, it just shows the defensive pressure that Sarries are really putting on. They're coming up really hard and fast, which means they're in your eye line. So it's pretty good.
Campbell to Galligan. Difficult for Cleal to pick up as a spin from Gulliver. Patel out to McKenna, steps away beautifully from McKinder, and then another step and then breaks a tackle. McKenna. Superb stuff.
No, place the ball.
Gulliver just asking the referee for a bit of help with the ball coming back, which eventually it does. Clear standing still, 2 defenders straight up in her face. Penalty coming Sarries' way, not rolling away. Hannah West, the culprit there. Pad on the back with up inside Chrissy Sigzawa. And Sarries looked to touch. We spoke in that first 40 about Saracens maybe being clinical. We're not really having much of the territory, but so far, 10 minutes into the second half, that's pretty much been an all Sarries line. If we had the graphic, it'd be very deep inside this Wasps half.
Yeah, whatever Alex said in the change rooms has worked, because for me they've come out all guns blazing. They look like they're dynamic, they're on it, they want to win this, and it shows in their actions. They look like they've got more intensity to their game, which is what they need in this semi-final.
Looping one from Campbell, disrupted by Wasps, and trying to disrupt this breakdown as well. Bottomman just scanning left and right, trying to see what she can work. Malloy straight up in her face. Retty, the initial point scorer in this game from that Harrison break. Haven't seen too much of her carrying the loose since that one. And then Bottomman just takes her eyes off the ball.
Scrum advantage.
Tries to make up for it with a big hit, but
Always going backwards.
that will be a scrum to Wasps as Sarah Mitchelson there just making sure Hannah Bottomman knew that she'd knocked the ball on. That will be a Wasps scrum, as we see there. Just she's been brilliant in many other areas. It's been another excellent performance from the 19-year-old, but just taking her eye off the ball there, possibly thinking about what she was going to do before she caught it.
Yeah, I know she's very young, but that for me is a very uncharacteristic mistake from Bottomman. You very rarely see that from her. But she, the more exposure she gets, the more experience she's going to get. For me now, it's about that frustration, letting her go that frustration, moving on. How quickly can she move on mentally from that mistake, bin it, and make the next thing count?
See there, just I think her reaction, trying to shake it off. Tackle taking on some Waters. The Saracens player actually just down receiving a bit of treatment at the moment, so time is off.
I love this camera shot. It just shows the backs. They always love a chat. Backs love a chat. While the forwards are there grinding it out, and the backs kind of chat about their next creative move for their hair.
Next creative move, I think.
If you bang heads.
How this next move is definitely going
Oh,
to
okay. I don't know.
see one of them searing through the line under the posts as
Okay, time's going back
Sarah
on.
Cox makes the mark. I'm not too sure how much of a mark you can make on these artificial pitches, but perhaps the rubber balls will come up in a different sort of way for the mark to be called.
Set.
It's been a powerful effort from Saracens at scrum time. It just collapsed almost pretty much straight away as McDonald just throws it out there, but no one at home.
Okay,
The Saracens trying to come through and gather the ball. Wasps frantically trying to work it back. So they've just about done. Waterman will be the acting scrum half with McDonald under that pile of players. And then, it's just an all bit of a mess at the moment. Players coming through, a maul formed. Wasps desperately trying to work the ball back, but as it hasn't gone to ground, that will be a Saracens scrum. And you have to say Wasps just causing themselves their own problems there. First with McDonald and then not clearing the ball before the maul was set, and creators of their own downfall.
Yeah, they're lacking the opportunities. They've had the opportunities, not capitalising on them. They need to kind of regain control, reset that button again. But looking, the dominant part here is definitely Saracens in the second half. Come out all guns blazing, 19-6 up. Wasps are still in the game, but Saracens are really definitely looking like a dominant force here.
5 metre scrum for Sarries. Clap is just on the shoulder inside of Harrison. Casey and Cattell in a similar position in the middle, with the other two outside. And penalty though from the scrum.
Straight down.
Straight down from the Wasps front row. Purdy, Cockaigne and West, and you think with this advantage, which they are doing, yes. So we go for another scrum again.
I need you to keep that bind up for me.
And Sarah Cox with the word for Claire Purdy.
Let's go, come on, Saris. Crouch. Bind.
Crouch, bind and set then. And a Wasp scrum, hold up this time. We go down straight away.
Okay.
That is the
Let's
mark
keep a little
there.
bit stronger this side, okay? Keep the better picture this side as well.
Sarah Cox also relying on the assistant referee on the far side and just making sure whatever is going on at scrum time on that far side is being checked on as well. That is where it's come down the past couple.
It's very technical, you know, Nathan.
It is very technical, which is why I'm going to leave it to the former professional player in 15s, Heather Fisher, to tell me what's going on.
Yes, please.
To be fair, Nathan, I just put my head down and did what a prop tells us to, which is normally to shove them in and to keep pushing them in so hard that they can't move.
Saris with the ball out this time. Harrison with the attempted crossfield kick. She sliced across it, and it's a brilliant take in the air by Dirk. Wasps looking to try and get the ball back quickly here. Here is McDonald. Spins and swivels and twists and turns and makes a good couple of metres, but
Entry.
as she does that, the penalty immediately comes Saris' way.
No,
Tova Dirk did brilliantly in the air there. I'm not quite sure it was on the money from where Harrison wanted to kick the ball.
just in front. Just on that
A
line.
wonderful leap from her, but McDonald's break causing that penalty to come.
Is it though? Yes, yeah.
We go from McDonald as we see her try and place the ball back. Trying to rip off from Sonia Green. And it was the rucking coming in at the side, which they're penalised for. Campbell aiming for Green. Poppy Cleal gathers it, heading towards the line, brought down just short.
Okay, go down. Leave it alone, Gold.
Slow ball this for Saris. A penalty coming their way.
So just three
Penalty
times.
after
She's
penalty,
not
it seems
rolled
at the
away,
moment,
you
being
were fine,
conceded
okay?
by Wasps, who
Sure,
are struggling
nine
to
is in the
deal
way.
with the Saracens' power at the moment.
Yeah, momentum has definitely shifted into the Saracens' hands. They're looking strong, they're looking clinical, they're looking like they know what they want now. And I think they can see the eyes on the prize, and that's driving them towards that final at Franklin's Garden.
Harrison kick to touch, another line out.
Just drop over, then
Another
mark us
effort
the line,
inside
okay?
this Wasp 22. Galligan gives a nod to Campbell, and up she goes and gathers. Them all set, and Saris in a good position here with Bottoman at the back of it. Driving forward, inching forward, now rolling to the left-hand side. Saracens brought down. Referee happy enough that that was legally brought down. Around they go again to the corner.
Let go, Gold.
Inches away. Pick and go over the line. Cockaigne getting a body in the way. Did really well there, the England hooker, to just put the ball on top of her.
7 Gold, move.
Bottoman at the back again. Malloy ready to strike. Driving towards the line. Is that the fourth try? Sarah Cox says no, just short. Bottoman looks to go again. Good defensive work by those in amber before Bottoman rolls round. The strength too much. A fourth try of the afternoon. A second try in this second half for Saracens. And they are heading towards this final at Franklin's Gardens.
Yeah, it's a great finish though by Bottoman, especially from the frustration she had earlier of knocking the ball on. She was really pleased with herself that she's just kind of come out of that hole and back onto the pitch and over that try line. Really great body height over the ball from the Saracens pack. Really good ball presentation and just controlling that tempo, changing it, keeping it when they need to, having a look left and right, scanning, and then mixing it up, making it hard for the Wasps to kind of get off the line.
Celebration again with Poppy Cleal, Hannah Bottoman. The two Grand Slam winning Red Roses doing the damage in this second half. Two from three so far for Harrison just drawing the line from ball to posts. Curling round to the left-hand side, just not quite the legs that time. The effort from Harrison, as we see again. Hannah Bottoman, well, it looked as if the initial Wasp defence had stopped her, but she just stayed on her feet, had the presence of mind to roll the tackle and finished really, really well. Tova Dirk with the low challenge. Been really impressed with her tackling the winger, especially on some players who are almost twice her size. That's 20 minutes then for Wasps, pretty much all or nothing. Harrison with the dummy kick. Penalty coming Sarri's way, driving in the sides of the ruck. Harrison just taking a time on this kick, and it's for those who've never been to Allianz Park, it can be quite a tricky venue to deal with wind-wise. It really kind of whips round here
Time off.
in this stadium. There's
Just,
the one main east stand which you can see.
All right, time off. Hang on. We're
Temporary
making substitutions. 2 secs.
stands either side,
Who's
but
coming
it's
off?
very much open to the elements in the four corners, and the wind just seems to whip around. Zoe Harrison doing very well at the moment.
All right. Time up.
Garnet McKinder coming off for Wasps. We'll try and work out that replacement of a replacement as she came on for Abby Dow, who had that knock in the first half. Really good kick that from Lizzie Gordon, and those are the sort of moments which Wasps will need more of in the last quarter of this game to try and get into it. A try really needed now from the team from West London.
You kind of hear the saying, don't you, Nathan, like hard work pays off, but I feel like they've worked so hard, it'd just be nice for them to us capitalise on it.
That again, just not quite coming off that set-piece move with Louise Dodd now on. I think that's the replacement for Garnet McKinder. McDonald breaking through. Malloy now. Sniping run from the Irish Open side. Dodd right into the thick of the action, the centre. 14th appearance of the season for her now. McDonald onto Maloney. And then the penalty coming Saracens' way. Just that past goal of 90 seconds or so. Wasp just seemed, Heather, just back on it again. There seemed to be a bit of momentum and urgency about their play.
Yeah, they know what they're trying to do. They have that intensity, and that you can't fault the effort that the team's putting in. It's just not coming together. Sometimes you get those times where the referee's decisions don't go quite your way, or a couple of people are off their game, or you've kind of got a split second to kind of make a decision. And I guess that's why as a youngster growing up, it's so important that you start to decision making. You're not told or dictated to how to play the game, because this is why at this level, problem solving is so important.
Cleaner Maloney there. He's also sent back another 10 metres for some back chat to Sarah Cox.
She won't be happy about that, will she?
So, another 10 metres forward for Harrison to measure a kick, and she's got the host within 5 metres of the halfway line. Time just stopped though with some treatment going on. I think it's Poppy Cleal is the player on one knee. That chance for the water carriers to run on.
Right.
Messages from the touchline as well.
I don't feel like, I don't know what you think, Nathan, I don't feel like the score reflects the game we've seen in front of us.
There we go.
It's kind of a real, I can't really put my finger on it. I'm watching it thinking, what is it? What's I missing? But it doesn't reflect the performance we've seen. Everyone has absolutely put every grit and determination into it, haven't they?
That one there,
Saracens being Saracens, just their clinical best when they need to, doing enough, controlling the game,
do you know what I mean?
points where they've needed to. And on the scoreboard, and those 4 tries, 24 points to 6 up.
Okay.
As I say, maybe not a reflection of the Wasps' effort, or particularly in that first 15 to 20 minutes, although even a player down with Claudia McDonald and that yellow card, they were playing really well and enjoying a lot of territory inside the Saracens 22. But it's things like this, that driving ball, a good 10, 15 metres, and they go again and make another 5 as McDonald just tries to roll away to present the ball. Gulliver to just turn around there. Harrison gives the ball to Cattell, back inside to Clapp off the wing.
No, I'm okay. I'm in line with that one. I'm happy.
Harrison to Cattell. Lovely soft hands to McKenna. Steps away from McDonald, now looking for the supporting line. Zigzauer is there with her. Gulliver, options out wide here if Saracens can work it through the hands. Coming forward, here is Casey, out to the far side, steps back inside, did Retty looking for a second score. Cleel back up on her feet, another one looking for a second try. Just short, but Saracens go again and they have a 5th. And they will have the game. Sarries heading to the Tyrrells Premier 15s final. A lovely pick-up from short as Rosie Gallagher goes over. All made by that initial driving maul from the Sarries pack, who've been really dominant in this second half. And they are cruising towards victory here at Allianz Park.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic try. I think it's one of the best tries I've seen for a long time of Saracens, using the whole team, using the whole pitch, playing as a team. Like you said, it came from the initial, error, you could call it, from Wasps giving away that penalty from a line out. You can always rely on their line out. They've got a great driving maul, and then great awareness from McKenna on the far side of the right pitch, and just using her vision, knowing where her players are left and right, and then your forwards finishing it off, getting your forwards on the wing, so you've got a mismatch. Has a Scottish back row player against the Wasp winger there, Malloy, and then again just pure strength and physicality and mindset to finish that try off. It's an absolutely superb try.
Two from 4 so far this afternoon from Harrison, just striking across the ball this time, and mentioned about the wind, reading that one perfectly. 3rd successful kick for her. 31-6 now, as they had the big overlap initially. The carry by Perry, out to Casey. Retty with the step. It just looked as if Clear was going to go for a second, but eventually Rosie Gallagher spotted that gap, and she goes over for a 3rd try of the season for her. There is Gallagher again, just stretching those legs. Gregson steps inside. Looks as if they're really enjoying their rugby now, Saracens. Swords on for Gulliver. With a late hit on Harrison, but Cattell breaking through, stepping inside and out. Brilliant from Laura Cattell. Tova Dirk with the tackle on her. Falling off challenges at the moment now, Wasps with this tiring defence. Campbell looks left, instead goes to the right. Gregson. Bobby Cleal. And a penalty coming Saracens' way.
We said at the start, didn't we, Nathan, that Saracens got the real potential to play real creative rugby, and now we're seeing a kind of hopefully a win into their belt, maybe looking at a scoreboard of 31-6. They're starting to play more fluid, they're starting to take that risk in the pass, and you're starting to see more creative play, which is brilliant to see from their backs.
Very good kick from Goulden. Wasps into the Sarries half. Kane to the back, hand in there by Macy. McDonald, half a break, then another one, handing off Harrison, really strong, looking for support. McDonald breaks another tackle inside the 22. Wonderful run from the number 9. Just Wasson able to get the numbers there to carry on that initial momentum. Ball back inside, looking for Dodds from Goulden. And then, well, with that carry in, Dodds managed to somehow lose possession. When that break from McDonald, though, really impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of sparks a bit of magic in that Wasp side. I think, you know, Giselle will be frustrated because they've got it within in the Nathan. They've got that spark of magic. They've got a great set of players. They've got great experience. It's just about it coming together. But it's about pride in that shirt now, and that Wasp shirt will mean a lot to those players on the pitch, young and old. So it's really important they remember what they're playing for and just to play through now and to really keep their heads up.
That's the last bit of action from Claudia McDonald. Deirdre Roberts on for her now. 2 replacement scrum halves to go against each other, shaking their head down on the touchline from McDonald. Some really good moments on the one we just saw. A couple of difficult ones, such as the attempted box kick blocked down.
I think it's a real shame for Wasps as well they lost Abby Dow so early, because I think she could have been I know she could have been a real threat towards Saracens, especially with Nolly, you know, playing fullback and putting her into that space. You know, it's always difficult, isn't it? You know, everyone wants to get to that final, but they've done really well today to kind of do what they've done and to perform how they have.
Just a word on the Wasp backline makeup at the moment. Louise Toss is at inside centre, Katie Older to outside, and Gemma Rowland on that wing, which Garnet McKinder was in before. Sword just giving off to Cleo. Started both games after the Six Nation Emma Swords. From Harrison into space. It's a really good touch finder. It's part of a game which looks to improve on, and no one really better to learn from than Katie Daly-McLean as Tova Dirk goes around the outside. Now looks for the support, just unable to produce the pass. Older has to try and clean things up. Wasps trying to win back their own ball here, just about doing it. Roberts brought down, still Amber Shirts coming back round, trying to get back on side and back round and support. And another penalty coming to Saracens. Big cheers, both on the pitch and on the bench. Still in this game and still trying to win every little battle.
You can see how much it means to them, can't you? You know, on their expressions, their faces, and how they're playing. They really want this, and you know, it's really good to see them playing at a good tempo and actually performing. I feel like they're actually performing today in the second half, especially more than the first. But they're coming out the blocks, and they look a strong, dominant side. And it's going to be very interesting. Whoever gets to the final against them, it's going to be very interesting. Loughborough Queens, it's going to be a very close final, I reckon.
I think even whoever does progress tomorrow, Saracens will still be favourites heading into that one at Franklin's Gardens. Another change for Sarries. Hannah Duffy comes on. Poppy Cleal goes off. Changing the backs as well as Nina Visterson is on for Hannah Casey. Poppy Cleal immediately just takes to the floor and leaning on one of the advertising hoardings down on the touchline.
She deserved it, I reckon. She's carried that ball so well today.
She's had a tough old afternoon, ball carrying one of 5 different try scores.
Okay, let the ball now. Let her come. Nora. Don't touch her.
Swords to Harrison. First touch of the ball there for Nina Vistison. Out to the far side, Saracens go. Drift, Wasps defence comes across. Bottoman breaking through, half breaking through, but just held on there from Wasps. Ball goes all the way around. Now can they try and run it from deep? No, they can't, because Mitchelson puts boot to ball. It's a pretty decent touch finder for a number 8. Pretty proud of that. Into the closing stages here at Allianz Park. Then we'll get the Tyrrells Premier 15's player of the match in just a second from Heather Fisher. And we'll also grab a word with that player at full time on the pitch. More replacements for Saracens. Janina Loyola, the Spanish international, Catherine Robinson, and also Georgie Lingham. 17 tries this season, Georgie Lingham. Had to make do with a place on the bench today. Sydney Gregson. Really impressive performance from her.
It's a real tough selection, isn't it? If you're in that Saracens team, whether you're a starting player on the bench, it's very competitive, isn't it? You're not sure if you're going to end up in the first, second team move on the bench, and it's so good that they've got that strength and depth within the team, Nathan.
Just so much quality throughout this Saracens squad. Helped them throughout the November internationals, helped them, of course, ride a few injuries as well. So heading to a second consecutive final in their 30th year since being established. A few celebrations beginning at the club. 30 years since they set up a women's team. Can they crown that with back-to-back titles? They have a penalty here in the closing stages. And it's Claire Malloy who is being chastised by Sarah Cox for her work at that breakdown. And well, the Saris decide what to do with this ball before it heads into the hands of Zoe Harrison, who will kick the ball to touch. A very decent touch finder as well. Let's Heather Fisher, your thoughts on the Tyrrells Premier 15's player of the match?
Nathan. So for me, it's been a very professional outfit from both teams. Malloy, Dirk played very well. Lotte Claps have been finishing quite well. Retty had a great first run, but for me, the outstanding player who's been performing for the 74 minutes that she was on the pitch was Hannah Bottoman.
So your Tyrrells Premier 15's player of the match, Hannah Bottoman, the Saracens prop.
I think she's got a very all-round, varied game, from the offload to the powerful carry. She backs herself. We make errors, but you know what? She got over it. She goes again, and she's just that reliable, very strong player. And for such a young age as well, to go, propping against Claire Purdy, like you said, 20 years her senior, she's doing very well, and she's got a great career ahead of her.
Currently sat leaning on the soft advertising hoardings on this near side, Hannah Bottoman. Get a word with her after the game. Her teammates on the pitch going in search of a 6th try, but Wasps have stolen the ball, and a shout and a scream as there is the Tyrrells Premier 15's player of the match. Very distinctive figure, always plays with the socks rolled down, always a bundle of energy, loves carrying the ball. Heard from her at half time, of course, and we'll be getting a word from her at full time. Get her thoughts on the game and also thoughts on the final. Stake there from Georgia Lingham. Scrum from Wasps. Can they end this game on a high? Can they end this season on a high with a possible score? It was 12 wins from their 18 in the regular season. Huge win at Gloucester Hartpury a couple of rounds ago, which secured their place in the top 4. It was those two who were really gunning it out for a place in this playoff semi-final. So far this afternoon, they've been outgunned by the champions. Louise Dodd helping it on to Tova Dirk. Steps away, brilliant step from the winger. Can he burst down the wing? No, she can't, because a recovery tackle from Zoe Harrison is a really good one, but it's a penalty from the Saracens fly half for that tackle. So not as good as initially thought, the players coming over, and Saracens will end the game with 14 players. Still some energy in this Wasps team as Harrison jogs off to leave her compatriots to finish this game. See that break from Tova Dirk again, and then Harrison coming across. And
for me, it's just consistency, isn't it? You know, it's a high tackle, but I've seen higher, I reckon, today.
Possibly Lottie Clapp in the first half.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the one to say it.
The referee always right, though. And Sarah Cox always right in that decision as she sends Harrison to the bin. West with the carry for Wasps. Another big carry from Wasps through the middle. Quicker ball this time, but it's straight to the floor. Waterman looks for the overlap around the outside. Dirk is there if needed. Pick and go from Waterman again. Just another burst of energy from the former England fullback as then Roberts comes through. Penalty comes Wasps' way. And there really is a appetite to end this with a score from Giselle Mather's side. Quick tap and go. Goulden given to the lock. Baltravite. Roberts short. They've got over the line. Have they got over the score? Sarah Cox says no. 5 metre scrum though to Wasps, but really good pressure with this player advantage.
To be fair, they look full of energy and they look like they're absolutely buzzing, which is great to see in the 78th minute, but I just wish I saw it from the very start, and I feel like they've just started to play and they've just started to have that belief and we can do it and we can actually make the try line. They've been on the try line 6 times, I think it is, and they just haven't come out of anything, which is a real shame.
Bit too little, too late at the moment for Wasps, but the appetite's still there. Still going to what will be the end of their campaign. Saracens again with the push back in the scrum. Roberts to Dodds, striving forward towards the try line, over the try line. They have their score. Wonderful, hard, straight carry from Louise Dodds. It will be in vain from Wasps, but smiles all round for that team.
Yeah, I'm really pleased they had that score. You know, it's a great straight line, a great little setup started. But again, we're in the 78th minute, Nathan. I just wish they started playing from the very start. But great pride in that shirt to keep playing that, and they haven't given up, which is great to see in every team.
2 players supporting her there. Older, right behind her. And as we were looking at that replay, we'll get a shot of what happened with the kick. Of course, Wasps keen to get on with it, so Lizzie Goulden just drop kicking it straight away and knocking it through the sticks. So, well, with a couple of minutes to go, and it's not going to change this result, but a bit of pride for Wasps as they look to throw the ball around again. Waterman helps it on to Dirk. Combination of Lingen and Cattell deal with her. Goulden flat through the middle, West breaking through. Needs an option, finds Malloy in support. Roberts to Mitchelson over the halfway line. Wasps flying into the breakdown now. Where has this energy come from? Advantage on the play to Saracens. Not forward by the visitors. Time is dead on our clock, but referee's clock slightly different. Unfortunately, don't have the stop-start clock here at the Allianz Park, but we are not too far away from full time. Scrum then to Saracens. Emma Swords with her hands on the ball. Time to run down the clock for Sarries. Go through the phases and make sure this ball stays with them as Clapp takes it up through the middle. Cattell now is the acting fly half in the absence of Zoe Harrison in the sin bin for that high tackle. Roberts with the tap and go. Goulden. Short to the on-rushing Katie Older. Cattell lined up Waterman there. Roberts' kick went backwards and Amy Cockayne with the chip and chase over the top, and then a really good hit on McKenna. Gallagher to Locks coming to blows there. Richardson just reading the play and coming all the way through. Now she'll have to get out of the way, the Wasps number 8. McKenna will do the honours with time now dead. Saracens heading to a second consecutive final. Big win here for the champions against Wasps ladies. Second half, 3 tries for them as they pulled away from the West London side. A derby win for Saracens, an Allianz Park win for Saracens, and they are heading to the final at Franklin's Gardens in a couple of weeks' time. 31-13. The win here, and really impressive in the end. 80 minutes, you have to say, Heather.
Yeah, definitely Nathan, but for me the dominant side won that game, and yeah, they look pretty impressive that second half. I reckon that's going to give any finalist team who gets there a run for their money, but a really impressive half by the Saracens team.
And I know obviously the end of their season now, Wasps, but glimpses there and signs of the future. There's a lot of young players in there, particularly the last 5 or 10 minutes when they seem to come to life again. The first 20 or 25 when they were camped in the Saracens half, a lot for Giselle Mather's side to take from her.
I think there's a lot to be said about playing with no fear. I think when you get to a semi-final, you know, you can't take for granted that for a lot of these players, you know, it might be the highlight of their career and somewhere where they want to be more of. And to be able to do that, you've got to be able to play with less fear and just be that instinctive player that you trust in yourself. And that takes experience, it takes exposure to those pitches. And like you said, they're so young that actually for next season they've got a lot of growth to go away and do, and a lot of work to go and do, but nothing that Giselle can't handle with her team, and nothing that the team probably can't handle, Nathan.
So full time, Saracens 31, Wasps 13. You're leaving the capable hands of Heather Fisher to talk you through the in-game highlights. I'm going to run down and have a word with Hannah Bottom.
Yeah, so here a great, absolutely superb offload. You know, this is one of those offloads that you haven't really got to be able to give in a game. But great straight line running by the back row player. But really good initial break by Zoe Harrison, and just that vision to be able to see that offload just give Saracens a heads up in almost like we're over the try line. First try of the game, brilliant. I'm just seeing the replay here. You know, you can see the defensive line coming up, but a bit scattered, which that's kind of what enables that to happen. If the defensive line coming up straight, then that probably could have been prevented. But a lot of traffic in the way, and to be able to see that offload again, it's pretty impressive stuff. And here the second try of the game, Sarah McKenna. These kind of skills look real simple, real basic, just be able to give that pass. But I think Nathan alluded to it earlier in the game. Be able to know when to give that pass, whether to give it early, give it late, to straighten up, is a skill in its own. Sarah McKenna really running hard here, running with intent, knowing that Lottie Clapp's on the outside of her, knowing that she's got one defender on her inside just to be able to fix. And Lottie Clapp, as always, finishing strong on that wing of hers that she absolutely loves here at Allianz Park. Both teams today have been kicking extremely well, absolutely extremely well here. This try here, again, just showing pure dominance in that Saracens team. We always know that when Sarries play, they're so physically, they're physically dominant in their carries. And when they're this close to the try line, you expect nothing less to be able to get over that try line. Just real low body positions, driving over, challenging that Wasp defence all day long and then finishing it off as strong as they have. Wasps really happy on the back foot today, but in terms of possession, I haven't got the stats in front of me, but Wasps has definitely been up there in terms of possession. It's just about having that clinicalness in terms of how to, when you've got possession, how to keep it, how to maintain momentum. So this doesn't happen again. Hannah Bottom, very strong today, player of the match in my eyes. Very strong physical carries, great scrummager, great all-round positional play, getting around the field very well. And this try for me has to be, it was a try of the game today, using the absolute all of the pitch. We talk about as rugby players using the whole pitch. They used the whole pitch, Saracens did, and using their back row and their forwards, the mismatch on the wing, and then finally getting over the try line. It was an absolutely fantastic try. And here, just great energy. For me, it's a shame that Wasps didn't have this intensity at the very start. We saw glimpses of it. They're a very young side, and they've got a lot to learn. They've got a lot of growth. Nothing they should be scared of. But great to see that in the 78th minute of the game, they can still go with energy and pride in that shirt and finish very strongly over the try line. And that's all of it from here today. Thank you very much for listening.
'15's player of the match. A big win for your side today. Was it kind of relief, especially after that opening few moments from Wasps?
Yeah, I think in the first sort of 20-30 minutes we were really under the cosh. There was a lot of defensive pressure on us, and I think we stuck to it. They only came away with 6 points in our first half, and we had to come out in the second half and we had to get more ball and we had to perform and stick to our defensive principles, and I think that's what we did.
What was said at half time? Because especially that sort of first 10-15 minutes of the second half, you seem to really come out flying.
Yeah, I think we wanted to get the first score on the board just to give us a bit of momentum. Just chat about just keeping our line speed, keeping our discipline, and going out there and just performing how we know we can perform.
You won 17 out of 18 in the regular season, so that's 18 out of 19 now. Yeah. The confidence in the squad must be immense. Yeah,
I think obviously we've picked up a couple of injuries, and the performance stage just shows the sort of strength and depth we have in the squad, and we'll go into the final sort of all guns blazing, and just what happens. So.
You've got a lot of internationals, but as you head into that final, how much are you looking forward to going to Franklin Gardens? A huge day for women's rugby and the club as well, and just getting out there and trying to retain your title.
Yeah, I think we're hugely excited to have got to the final in the first place, and what happens on the day, and we'll give it our all on the day.
Do you feel kind of targets on your back and probably favourites, seeing as you are champions and finishing top?
I don't know. I think I think people maybe find us sort of in contention, but I wouldn't say we're favourites at all. I think we've just got to stay complacent and not stay complacent. Don't stay complacent. Just stay positive.
Grounded.
Yes, what you said. And just go into that final all guns blazing and just give it all we've got.
Hannah, congratulations today. Very well played, and here is your gigantic bag of Tyrrells Premier 15's Bliss. Hannah Bottom, player of the match. So that's pretty much it for our coverage here at Allianz Park today. Saracens women through to the Tyrrells Premier 15's final at Franklin's Gardens. A 31-13 win over Wasps ladies. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon, we're back here on Premier15s.com and the England Rugby Facebook and YouTube channels. We bring you coverage from Harlequins ladies against Loughborough Lightning. That one, a 2 p.m. kickoff tomorrow from the Twickenham Stoop. Saracens winners here. Thank you very much for your coverage and time this afternoon. A very good afternoon to you.